Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So nothing really happened yesterday. Left that zone in from yesterday just to highlight the significance of it and why I was not interested in going short, and actually not interested in going long either. But we do have a flag break, and that rule of thumb, when you break a flag in the opposite direction of what you should be breaking it, there is only a 25% probability of price continuing to the downside. So the law of averages dictates that more often than not you're going to lose money if you think it's going to fall. So what we do is we stay away from it. So just have a look at the structure we have. We have a double bottom on the oscillators, no diversions here. Deep pullback. We are now back in the flag at the moment. We do have a crossover of the moving averages, so that is something significant. And remember, this is a weekly level. So pin bar with one bar that's closed above it. So technically, we could be looking at that as a long. And obviously the next higher time frame is also telling because we've got a crossover of the moving averages here, so and an inside bar. So at the moment this gap is still open, which is a concern. So drilling down to the 3 hour, where you can see sideways, back into the flag. And often what does happen though, remember, is we can also sort of start forming a channel, which is also a possibility. But anyway, this gap here is very much open. I'm just going to delete this level so it doesn't influence us. That's probably the more important level, 34,268. Look at the oscillators. They are separating. We are in a downward trend. And this is a fairly interesting setup because I'm not seeing it on the other indexes. There is a structure to the upside which we are testing at the moment. If we drop down to the hour, hopefully that does give us some signals. All it tells us is that we have bobbed wire. We have confusion at this level. So the bulls are trying to get it through, but the bears are still very much defending this level. That's 34,558. It is a gap as well, and that gap is open. So take it with a pinch of salt at the moment. We are above the moving averages at the moment. We're in between all the moving averages. Don't really have any clear signal here for me anyway. There's some bearish and there's some bullish, but there's a lot of just confusion on this index. The S&P 500 and the DAX have some clear levels for us to monitor. So if we just pay attention to the 15-minute, we have got see how the moving averages have all come together here. They were far apart, indicating a very strong downtrend. Now they've come together, they have crossed over, which is indicating potential for a move to the upside. So that is the only signal that we do have is on the 15-minute. But I would expect us to get above 34,558 before we even start considering that, because I suspect we're going to get this kind of price action, which is big up, big down, big confusion still today. It is the end of the week as well, so let's just have a look at the week. It may give us another indication. Nothing really, and I think it's time to get rid of the diagonals. So you can see the strength of this zone that we're in from a weekly perspective. Moving averages, trend is up, oscillators pointing down, granted, but we haven't really created a lower low. The lower low would come in below there. And there's even more support there as well. So, yeah, I think this is a real tussle at the moment between the bulls and the bears. And it's just an indication of the confusion that's in the market, because every day there's a bit of data that comes out, a bit of noise that comes out, which then drives fear. And then the following day there's more noise that comes out, which drives greed. And that's what you're seeing. So, obviously when there's fear, then you see people selling off. And then you see the greed, you see people buying, and you see fear, they're selling, greed, buying. So that's kind of what's happening at the moment. So you don't really want to get trapped in that. So I think for me, the Dow is another confusing day and another probably sit and wait. I think I'm leaning towards the long setup, to be honest, on the shorter time frames, and that is going to be a break of 34,558. I need a clear break. I need to find supports up there, or one of these two tails just below it. So just keep those levels in before looking at this. Shorts. There are shorts on offer, but you're gonna both the shorts and the scalps are gonna be sorry. Both the shorts and the longs are going to be scalps, not the scalps, but the shorts and the longs are both going to be scalps. So if you are, you do get structure, a break, retest for a long, you need to look left as quick as possible, draw your levels in and take profit quickly, and the same to the downside. And I would argue that this is the level to pay attention to the downside. That's 34,482. So those are the only two levels that are going to trigger a trade for me. This break, retest of this to the downside is short, break, retest of the high of yesterday is a long. As simple as that. And then I just want to close off on the daily, because if you look at the daily, we've got a nice juicy inside bar here. So that's why your longs would play out if you break above there, 34,558. If we get a daily close above that, that starts putting things into motion for us as well. But yeah, that's kind of my view. Hope it helps, and if it does, drop us a thumbs up, and we'll catch up with you on Monday morning. Enjoy the weekend. Cheers for now.